Well, hello lads, I welcome you to a new video. And yeah, I guess we can get right into it. We ended last time when we came home from our first club meeting, so let's continue from there. I know mom has been working two jobs since my dad died, but honestly it gets lonely sometimes being here on my own. You know, that is a thing that you can say to this MC, and that he's a fatherless, and might have fatherless behavior. But we shall see. I fetch a small bag of crisps, so he's British, good to know, from the cupboard to keep my stomach satisfied till dinner. Making my way upstairs, I take a quick detour into my bedroom, which I can describe as a nerd's paradise, to drop my bag and get out of my uniform. Can't really focus at home like that now, can I? After that and more snacking, I make my way to what used to be the guest room. They don't really have long-term guests anymore, so mom decided to give me the room to myself to have somewhere to focus on my music. I still gotta tidy up this room at some point. I sit in the nearby office chair, internally debating with myself whether to work on music or the poem. Thinking about it, it would probably be best to sort out the poem. Got to make an at least decent first impression with my writing. I get up and return to my room. Well, that was useless to go back and forward, but hey, why not? That is off. After sitting at my desk, I grab a pen and a single piece of paper and start jotting down what's on my mind. Shut up, phone, I'll mute you so I do not get disturbed. I remember that being a I remember that being a technique taught to us to what? What? I remember that being a technique taught to us during the first year English classes. You know, I'm not recording this at 3 a.m., so I would think maybe my mind would be at least a bit more ready to read, but I guess not. I guess I cannot read at all. Either way. Back then, I didn't expect it to be using it outside of class. After about 5 minutes, I'm finished. Amidst the standard emotional stuff, there's the remnants of when I may have gotten too far into my heart. I must have written down and then scribbled out Monica's name at least 4 or 6 times. Even now, the thought of her makes my heart race. Maybe that schoolboy crush of mine never died? Question mark. Really? A question mark after that? Like, bro, if you literally can't even make a poem without writing her name several times, I think the crush is still there, you know? Just thinking out loud. Grabbing a second sheet of paper, I feel a new sense of determination as I start letting my heart guide the movement of my pen. That in itself is oddly poetic of me. Is that a good sign? There is really only one way to find out. I'm stealing that idea for my bloody mod. Yeah, that when the MC writes poems, that background will be there. With the ring of the bell, another day of classes comes to an end. Since my last class was music, I quickly make my way to the club room. Interesting transition. It's a weird transition, cause like we went from home to a different day with no transition, and now just I don't know, a bit inconsistent. IMO, but who am I to judge really? To my surprise, I'm the first one in. I at least thought that Monika would have been here first, given her being club president and all. Seizing the brief time alone I know I have, I take a seat at the nearest adjacent desk and take my laptop out of my bag to make some little tweaks to my latest class project. The project itself is nothing too out there. It's a simple piece, driven mostly by a steady bass line, a piano, and a kick drum. It's akin to some of my earlier hyperactive productions, but definitely more simplistic when it comes to the sound design. My brother in Christ, you are truly a music nerd. I envy you. I gotta get that keyboard one day. And I will definitely learn your reality like ASAP. I listen to it. I listen again. Say that one more time. Thank you. Maybe I should scrap this. Just then, my head darts back as the door opens. It's Monika, who looks depressed. Jesus. I focus back on my laptop, praying she didn't notice me or my dilemma. However, I then hear her back softly hit against the door and a long, exhausted sigh. I blends. Ah, yes, blends. I glance back and her eyes meet mine. Hey, Atazov. Hey, Monika. I give her a gentle smile. You good? She smiles back. Kinda. She sighs again. Just science class stressing me out. I can sympathize with her. There is only two science teachers for our year, those being Miss Nakama and Mr. Kurosawa. Whereas Nakama is more youthful and her lessons tend to be more down to earth from what Sayori has told me, Kurosawa has a bit of a rap for being a hard ass. Let me guess, Kurosawa giving you a hard time? She nods. I pull out a chair for her. I don't even have to say anything as she starts to come over to join me. Her eyes then focus on the screen of my laptop. What are you up to? She seems curious. My eyes... fuck. My eyes first dart to the screen, then back to her. I feel my cheeks redden a bit. It's nothing, just a class project. Kinda thinking of starting over. She focuses a little more on the screen before her eyes flicker back to meet mine. A smile forms across her face. That's a cool sprite. Mind if I have a listen? Sure. I smile back as I then hit the spacebar to start the track. Again, part of me wants to restart it, but I can't help but notice that Monika seems to kinda enjoy it. Even her hot bloody hell, Atazov, please, it's only 6 p.m. Please, work, brain. Even her head is bopping to the beat. As soon as it began, the track comes to an end, and, if on cue, the door opens and the rest of the club make their way into the room. Monika quickly turns to me, seemingly taken back by the sudden entry of the rest of the club. I'll tell you what I thought in a bit. She smiles sweetly and I smile back. That damn fucking Alatos, I beg of you, please. That damn irresistible smile of hers. She then gets up and starts to greet the rest of the club. I quickly close my laptop and slide it back into my bag. I then feel the air quickly leave my lungs as a pair of arms suddenly clamp around me. Hey, Atazov! Sayori's voice rings into my ears. Hey, Sayori. I struggle to get my words out as I wriggle my way to freedom. Yuri then approaches me, a warm yet timid smile on her face. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, Atazov. I chuckle, returning the smile. You don't have to worry about me doing that. Besides, how could I run from a place as comfy as this? Natsuki soon interjects with a mix of a regular sass and bad. Well, fucking hell. Don't get too comfy though, you won't hear the end of it. I know. Honestly, it's kinda amusing when Natsuki tries to be assertive. Though, I have the feeling that if I said that, my nose would probably be the first to know it. Yes, it would be. Sayori lets out a giggle before speaking again. Don't worry, Atazov always gives it his best when he's having fun. He even helps me with my busy work without me asking. She then audibly counts everything I've helped her with. Cooking, cleaning my room. She eventually loses her train of thought. How dependable. Yuri smiles gently at the pair of us. I might be a little jealous if I'm honest. Barf! Jesus Christ. I chuckle, feeling my cheeks redden. How much time do we have? A lot. Damn. Oh yeah, the model is having only a small stroke. That's fine. To be fair, this isn't the first time someone might have gotten the wrong impression about Sayori and I's friendship. No, Yuri, it's not like that at all. I smile back at her. Her room gets a bit distracting when it's messy. That does not help you, bro. Like, you're trying to imply that you are not together, and your first sentence implies that you spend a lot of time at her house. Jesus. I then turn to Sayori. Not to mention the little incident with the bacon last week. Sayori glares jokingly and pouts. Can we not bring that up? I then whisper to Yuri. Yeah, she almost set her kitchen on fire. Yuri giggles gently. After that, everyone departs to what I assume are their usual activities. Natsuki rummaging around in the closet, Sayori is having a cheery conversation with Monika in the corner, and Yuri's face is buried within quite a sizable novel. Her intense expression hints that she's been longing for this moment. Speaking of novels, I should probably pick up a book to read. After all, I did join a literature club. It's really the least I can do. I walked to the back of the room and started scanning the books located there. My eyes scan each title on the various spines. I mumble to myself, keeping my voice as quiet as possible as not to distract the girls. That exit music, come on! Too soon. If I see Fallen Angel Salvation, I'll cry. Fucking called it. Come on, not the sad mods. I keep going until my eyes meet on a peculiar looking spine. I go to pull the book off the shelf to check out the book more thoroughly. That is until I feel a hand tap on my shoulder and I spin around, quite honestly taken aback. It's just Sarah. I keep my voice low. Jesus, Sarah, you startled me. Sarah just giggles proudly before speaking. Monika wants to ask you something. Ooh la la. She then practically drags me by my arm to the front of the class where I suggested Monika is waiting for me. I accidentally alt-tapped, why? Any harder and she might have yanked my arm clean off. Monika closes her notebook and looks up at me, smiling once more. Hey Atazov. Hey Monika. Smooth. Not giving it away at all. Jesus. Sarah gives me a sly glance that simply says, I knew it, but Monika doesn't seem to know. That is not a sly glance, that's a glance of, oh well, he might not be into me, but at least he's happy. Like, Jesus, come on, not another sad Sayo story. Sarah says you wanted me for something? Ah, yeah, I do actually. Monika steps up from the desk and gets near me and Sarah. I was gonna get some supplies from the art department and was wondering if you'd maybe wanna tag along? Damn, interesting. Monika losing her composure. Unheard of in DDLC mods. No, fuck, my phone's bugging. I should stop getting distracted. The way she says that sends butterflies down my stomach. But at the same time, I can't help to think. My brother in Christ, how can you fumble so hard? Wouldn't Sarah be better for that? But I'm still designing. She stops herself and then lowers her voice a bit, as to not get the attention of Natsuki and Yuri. I have to get one day hand tracking, cause I constantly keep moving them around and emphasizing things. The posters. I decide not to press either of them on it just yet. In that case, I'd be glad. I smile at Monika. The look on Sayori's face from earlier remains. Yeah, fucking depressed. Jesus. Ugh, fuck. Ugh. Dying over here. Ugh. You know, I do not envy you lads for having to listen to all of this. Maybe this can give us a bit more time to talk. Monika beams at me. I promise we won't be too long. Honestly, I'd love to spend as much time as I can with her. Monika then turns her attention to Sarah. You don't mind watching the club whilst we're gone, right? Well, I am the vice president after all. Sarah teases playfully before plopping herself at the front desk. And with that, Monika lets Natsuki and Yuri know that the pair of us will be back in a bit before we make our way to the corridor. Once outside, I notice Monika looking back into the club with a not-so-subtle smile on her face. It's just so relaxing in there. I can't help but smile too. It is. I'm guessing that's part of the reason you started in the first place? Monika turns to me. Honestly, yeah. Most of the other clubs were mostly just arguing over publicity, the budget, and the festival, not to mention the drama. She chuckles as she looks back internally. Like in the second year, you must have been part of every major club there was. And if I remember right, weren't you in the debate club at the start of this year? Monika laughs as we start walking down the hall. Oh god, don't get me started on the debate club. Worst mistake of my life. The worst mistake of your life so far. As we get further, the conversation only grows. It's not too long till Monika's letting me know how most of the bigger clubs aren't all that they're cranked up to be. Eventually, we end up talking about the literature club once again. I'd rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Honestly, good advice to overall people. If you have something you like, make something special out of it if you want to grow it. Yeah, her enthusiasm is just about as contagious as her smile. In that case, I'm surprised more people haven't joined yet. It is true though. I mean, I know a literature club doesn't sound too exciting, but for me it's only fair to judge a club by its members, and at least from what I can tell, everyone else in the club seems really nice and close with each other. Monika speaks again. That only makes events like the festival that more important. Hopefully we can all grow the club before we graduate. A thought pops into my head. So after that, would Natsuki become president or something? Monika giggles. No, no, no. Natsuki's in the same year as the rest of us. Oh, my bad. Oh, don't apologize. She gets that all the time. We keep walking until we reach the door to the art department. It's a section of the school I've not visited since the first year. To be honest, I was never really any good at art in the traditional sense, being more creative with computers and music software, so I dropped out of it at the start of the second year. Okay, you cannot blame me that sometimes I fuck up when there is stuff like this written. And no hate to the mod, like I get it. Stuff slips out. But do not blame only me and my terrible reading. I notice Monica peeking through the door, presumably checking if there is a club going on or something. We're clear. Monica calls me over as she opens the door and I quickly follow her inside. Monica's already made her way to the supplies closet and has started searching. I, on the other hand, just idly stand there while taking the occasional glance at her. Eventually, she breaks the silence. Hey, could you hold this for a sec? She holds out a small pile of cardstock. I take it and she thanks me with the same sweet smile she's always had. In a way, I'm glad we're doing this out of normal school hours. God only knows the kinds of rumors that would spring up if anyone outside the club saw us alone in a classroom. I have to read that. No, fuck off. Although, admittedly, the thought of us making out in a barren classroom feels kinda at us off. Monica's curious tone snaps me out of my little daydream. You okay? Yeah, I just spaced out a bit. I stammer as I try to cover my back. Luckily, she seems to buy it. No worries. She giggles as she steps out of the closet and shuts the door behind her. It happens to the best of us. Can't imagine you doing it. I chuckle. Well, she traces the edge of the desk with her finger, as if tracing back her thoughts. It's happened to me before. Well, when Sarah first came to the club, she caught me napping on the front desk. Now that sounds more like Sarah than you, Monica. I decide to tease her a bit. Coffee only gets you so far, you know? Yeah, she's right about that. Honestly, outside of the club, Monica seems really genuine and down to earth. Part of me wonders if anyone else has. Not my fault. If anyone else has seen this side of her. I mean, I'm guessing that everyone else in the club has, and her other friends have seen it. I think we're all done here, ready to head back? Yeah. I make sure I've still got everything she handed me, and we start making our way back upstairs. Why we didn't just use an elevator is beyond me, but I'm not complaining about spending more time with Monica. Zam, lucky, we can't use elevators at our school. Before we start to reach the club room, I decide to ask about the track we listened to before club started. So, what did you think about the track from earlier? I liked it. Her eyes meet mine. My only bloody hell, as if I beg of you learn to read. My only problem with it is that it's too short. We both laugh a bit about that. I found myself blushing again. It's nothing really. Besides, knowing you, you're probably better at music than I am. I did practice piano a bit, but I wasn't any good at it. I highly doubt that. We soon make our way back to the club room. Upon entering, not much has changed. Yuri is still focused on her novel, while Sayori and Natsuki are chatting near the windowsill. Sayori then notices us both, and practically skips towards us. I beg of you, Atos of learn to read. I'll have to start taking some fucking focusing drugs just to focus on reading. Jesus. You get everything you needed? Both Monika and I not. Yep, honestly, Ateza was a real help. I give a smirk. It's no problem, really. Natsuki then pipes up as Sari collects everything and takes it to the front. What took you two so long? Were you making out? As much as I'd love that to have happened, I can't help but be a little taken aback by how sincere she sounded. I glance at Monika and we both share a blush. But the more I look at her, the more I see a faint smile being delicately painted across her face. Maybe deep down she wanted that to have been a reality. Natsuki then focuses on me. Do you know how suspicious that looks if you're just staring at each other? Honestly, Atazov, Jesus. I thought you'd be a pump and go kind of guy, but color me impressed. She caps that off with an insanely cheeky smile. Pump and go kind of guy? What does she? Oh, my face goes an even deeper shade of red, one that my nerdy brain can only describe as almost gecko demon. That's quite red. My eyes widen as well. No, Natsuki, I. By the time I gather myself, Natsuki has already gotten closer to me and brings herself up to my ear. Well, as close as someone as short as her can get. Jesus Christ, Natsuki, why are you mentally torturing him? Like, war crimes. Literal mental war crimes right now. It's obvious you've thought about it. I go to deny, though thankfully I don't need to, as Natsuki's already trotted off safely back under the windowsill. Uri looks over at her and sighs. Please show some decency, Natsuki. I was only teasing. Natsuki's voice whines as Yuri shakes her head. Can't deny that it was at least kinda funny. I don't have much time to settle down before Monika announces to the club. Okay, everyone, it's time to share poems. Well, I believe, lads, that we can leave the poems for the next episode. It will be a good starting point. So, yeah, before we end, I want to do a quick... Wait, I'll do this. And a quick mute. Now, before we end the video, I would like to do a quick progress update on my mod. Week 1 is almost finished, at least as in the script. And when I finish the script, the art, and the code, which will take who knows how long, hopefully only maybe this week or next, I'll release a playtest for it, which I'll hope a lot of you will participate in, because I need the feedback desperately, please. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one. Bye bye.